Hello, my loves. It's Dina here from No Fear, Just Flow. If I'm being honest, I'm going to tell you that I have not been flowing like I normally do. Like, usually I pride myself on being in the flow and not being fearful. And lately, I have had so much on my plate that it has been hard not to be concerned, not to be worried, not to allow myself to get into some low vibrating thought patterns and behaviors. And so today I have decided to do a major reset that not many people would do, but I am on a 4-day water fast, which is intense. But I'm doing that because it literally reboots your cells. It reboots your cells and it goes into autophagy, which means all of those zombie cells will eradicate from my body and I will feel lighter. And so I'm not recommending a water fast for just anyone, but I will tell you that if you can ever do it, even just for 24 hours, it feels amazing. And so I need to do a reset. I need to do a reset. I need to clear my mind and I need to get closer to God because I am feeling like I need His direction. And in order to get His direction, I need to quiet my mind. And so sometimes we have to give up things that feel good in a fleeting moment, knowing that the long-term effects are what's important. And so I went to a meeting on Sunday night with my daughter at church, at her church, and they were talking about discipleship and what it means to be a disciple, what it means to get other people to follow God and Jesus. And at the end, a man stood up. The place was packed. It was beautiful to see so many people wanting to spread the love and light of God and Jesus. And the place was packed. And, you know, I'm new. I am new. I'm a new Christian. It's even hard for me to label myself like that, but I do believe in Jesus being the way and the light. And I do know that when I quiet my mind, that God leads me and that He is my Heavenly Father. And so I guess that makes me a Christian. And he said that there were 60% of Christians in the world and that only 4% of them follow Jesus. And so I thought that was an interesting statistic. But anyway, at the end, this older man stepped up and said that he was excited that they had, I think it was 100 new Christians in their church since the beginning of the new year. However, that he referred to them as baby Christians, and that just like babies, they need to be nourished and supported and loved. And I think that that's the part that's hard when you're walking your path with God, is to find place where you get supported and loved and where you are getting the nourishment that you need and the help that you need, because I wasn't raised Christian, and so I don't know. I don't know all the rules. I don't know all of the ways. I'm just reading the Bible for the first time. I do know that I'm very comfortable with God and that I'm really enjoying that part of the process. But there's a lot more to learn, and I think that sense of community, we're lacking that right now, that people are lonely and they're feeling disconnected. And so I know that I am, that I don't have a big sense of community. And I think sometimes people just fall into the community that's around them, but it's not really uplifting. I had somebody recently in my life that kept telling me that they didn't enjoy hanging out at this one place with these certain people, but yet they were doing it all the time. And I thought, if you're not enjoying your surroundings, yet you're doing it all the time, then it's hard to change your behavior. It's hard to change your frequency, because you're allowing yourself to be a negative frequency. And so sometimes it's hard to remove ourselves from familiarity. But if the familiarity is keeping you in a negative place and not helping you to grow, then sometimes that's what you have to do. And you have to choose to walk the path alone until you align with the right people. And so I think that that's a choice that I keep making, because I keep wanting to align with certain situations and then they just don't work out for me. And so I just know that I have to remove myself in order to get my energy back again. And it's not an easy thing to do, but it's a necessary thing to do. And, sometimes people catch up with you. Sometimes people get it and then they raise their vibration and they catch up with you. And sometimes it's just leaving things in the past. And that's not an easy thing to do, especially when you feel like you want to still be connected and you want to help those people. But sometimes you just can't do that. Sometimes you have to make the decision that's right for you. And so when this man referred to people as baby Christians, I thought, that's how I feel. I feel like unsure, and that some days it's difficult to stay in that high vibrational place. And I do have a couple Christians in my life that have been helpful, but they're not close to me. And so that, physically they're not close, so I can't get together with them. And so this man said that it's very important as Christians to reach out and to help new Christians in their faith. And so, I reached out to somebody that's been a Christian for a long time and asked for a connection, a meeting to connect. And I'm excited to do that. And so, as much as life is shifting and changing, and it's certainly a hard time to be here, it is, because there is a spiritual war going on. Whether you feel it or believe it, there is a spiritual war going on. And if you are a Christian, if you believe in the Bible, then you know that fantastical things have happened in the past. So I don't know why we have such a hard time believing that fantastical things could happen now. So if you were raised in Christianity, and if you've forgotten how good it feels to have love of God, or if you've just never allowed that, I'm asking people to soften their hearts. I'm asking people to reach out to other people and get a sense of community going, and remember that we are all here to walk each other home. Rumi said that, and we are all here on this planet, and that the more that we raise our vibration, the more that we love one another, the more that we can be there for one another, the faster that we get to experience heaven on earth. I mean, that's what the Lord's Prayer says, right? To be heaven on earth, like it is on earth. And that's what we need to get to. And so I'm here, refreshing, restarting. I kind of hit the reboot button. I haven't been filming. I haven't been taking care of myself the way that I want to. I've been caught up in the nonsense of what's going on in the world. And usually I don't do that. And so I'm doing a refresh. I'm doing a reboot. And I think it's okay to do that. And I'm going to pour into myself, and I am going to reach out to other Christians and create a sense of community that I don't have. And I would suggest that we do that too, because now more than ever, we need each other. We do. So we need to set down our phones, and we need to talk to people, and we need to engage in the world. And so that's what I'm recommending that you do. Is be engaged. Remember what it feels like to purely be loved by God, and remember that this is your temple, and you have to feed your temple and nourish your temple and take care of your temple, because if you don't, no one else will, and now is the time. So here's to taking care of our temples, here's to pouring into God and ourselves, and here's to knowing what's good for us and walking away from what's not good for us. So please remember that you are loved, that you are one of God's children, and that we're all in this together. Mwah. Like, subscribe, comment if you will. You are loved.